Hello, gorgeous people. My name is Hajara Pito, and I'm the head coach at the Audacity to Soar Network. At the Audacity to Soar, we're passionate about women and wealth. And so I help women build wealth using their skills, experiences, talents, and income. I help them look at what they have in their hands, how they can turn that into a product that the market wants and will pay for. And I help them look at what they have in their hands and how they can use that to create vehicles that will create more income for them in the long run. Today, I'm answering a question that was sent by a younger lady in my DM, where she says, if you were building wealth from the beginning, if you were just starting again, what are the things you would do? This is part 3 of that video, so watch parts 1 and 2 below. Yes, so I think in the first part I talked about I will define wealth for myself. In part 2, I talked about saving in a high yield interest account. I talked about the fact that I would keep my job and that I would also start a business on the side that does not compete with my job in terms of time and in terms of the subject matter of what my day job is. But I will start another business so I can create another stream of income. And I did suggest something like drop shipping, which does not require you to hold inventory and does not necessarily require you to use your own funds, because at this point we're really trying to conserve funds. We don't necessarily have the funds. So the third thing I would do is I would then target that savings that is in a high yield interest account, and I would look at it. So the thing about savings is that you have to build your savings first. You build your savings so that you can use your savings, right? And so put that money in a high yield interest account. One of the first things I would do differently now is I would start investing in real estate early. I would invest in real estate early, and I would invest in the cheaper ones, because I know that sometimes the barriers to investing in real estate is the money to do it. But I will invest in the cheaper ones that are available. Now in Nigeria, I must say, and I don't know how it is in other countries of the world, you need to find out what's applicable where you are. But if you do buy land, even in the cheaper areas, one of the things that you really want to do in Nigeria is to take possession and to perfect your title. So you want to perfect the title to the land, and you want to sort of take possession, even if it's just by building a fence. So I might have a real estate strategy, which I still do as an older person. I have a real estate strategy for myself even now. But then I would probably have a real estate strategy where I say I buy one every 2 years or every 3 years, and I would actually fence it and all of that. First, when you fence it, that's taking possession. So you build a fence around it so it's delineated and it's yours, and you have perfected your title. Now, just those 2 actions increase the value of the land immensely, even if it's just bare land. It therefore means that it's easier for you to sell it, right? And then it's also, if you wanted to sell it as you're growing in life and you want to now upgrade to closer areas, more expensive areas, so it makes selling it easier. It also makes selling it easier. It also makes getting financing for it easier, because you have a perfected title and because the land you've taken possession of the land. So that adds a lot of value. Now I'll give you some really good game regarding this. One of the things that I would say if I was starting afresh is all the properties I buy, even when I buy them, I would put them in a company. The ownership of the land will be in a company. And in Nigeria, you now can have companies that have single shareholders. So even if it's just you, or if it's you, your mother, your brother, your husband, your best friend, whatever, and you people are buying it together, then both of you are shareholders to the company. But that's really good, because first, from a legal standpoint, it protects you. If someone is coming after you, you're being sued for something, because it's in a vehicle, it's in a company, that property is protected. But more importantly is that when you want to sell, it makes your property more attractive, because there's a significant gain to the person who's buying. Because at that time, since the asset is owned by a company, rather than selling the asset to another person all you need to do for the value that you're wanting to get is to sell the shareholding in the company to the person, which is a cheaper process, and which means that there's certain taxes that the person doesn't have to pay at the point of buying the land off you, because now they're just buying the company which owns the underlying asset. So those are some things that I would say, because those are some of the ways that the rich continue to build wealth. Those are some of the games that, you know, are at play when you see transfers between the people who have assets, who have created great assets for themselves, and the people who haven't. I hope this has been helpful. If you have any other questions on how you'd like to build wealth, any other questions that relate to building wealth, to resilience, I like to say that wealth is not money. It's not just money, it's a component of it. Wealth is in your relationships. Wealth is in yourself. You know, we've heard of a lot of people who achieved a lot of financial and material wealth, but that were desperately unhappy. So unhappy they took their own lives. That's not what we try to build at the Audacity to Soar. At the Audacity to Soar, we're helping you build a life that is wealthy and abundant, where you are happy with the way you are living, you're happy with the choices you are making, you don't feel constrained to do things because you have to do them. You feel like you're living the life that you truly want. You're excited about your life. You're joyful about your life because it's how you want it. You're living true to yourself while also making the income to maintain it, right? So thank you for the question. I enjoyed answering it. Any more questions, put them in the chat or send me a DM. Ciao.